Welcome back, everybody, to the XBA. We are finally here with the off-season. Can you guys believe it?
Finally.
It's finally here. Oh my God. Are you excited?
Yes.
I'm excited. Because guess what? We are now taking Year 2 custom prospects. Can you believe that?
Oh my God.
Well, here's the process, guys. Please use the link below in the pinned comment. So if you see my name, if you see GG9 has posted a comment, it's right there. Also, it is in the description. There you go. We're taking custom prospects. Please fill out all of the questions about your prospect, from backstory, height, weight, college, position, name, top 3 attributes. I think I listed them all right there.
And we're going to be taking...
We are not capping it off this time.
Okay.
We're not capping it off because we did have about 20 some odd people that played in the golden ticket contest for that matchup there. You guys remember the XBA finals, guaranteed prospects for them. So they're basically making up half the field if we only took 50. So we're not capping it off this year. So please, if you want to get in, submit your prospect there.
Beautiful.
What are we going to cover in today's video?
Well, we are going to unveil the draft lottery. After all the fallout, we'll see kind of maybe who slots where. We'll also go over some rule changes really quickly and a little bit of housekeeping. So pretty light video overall today, but it's definitely worthwhile. And the draft lottery is the big one.
Plus the combine results as well. So you guys can kind of get to see where your custom prospects are being ranked after their combine performances. Who ran the fastest? Who's got the better 3-point shot? There you guys go. So what do you say we get right into it?
Players retiring. We're going to let these guys call it a career in the XBA. So not all of the old folks are retiring, but some of the guys that we brought back: Kevin Garnett, Yao Ming, we got Udonis Haslem, who's 40 years old. Okay, he's hanging up his sneakers.
He's calling it quits.
And then we feel it's the right thing to do. I haven't talked a lot about Kobe Bryant, but I feel like it's the right thing for Kobe to retire.
And of course, as we talk about Kobe Bryant, we offered up the community to make up a decision on what we wanted to do for him in the playoffs, since the playoffs had already started when, of course,
And we had games simulated ahead before the incident happened.
Yeah, before the accident happened. So, of course, kind of a sticky situation, obviously. So thank you guys for letting us know what you thought about that and what to do going forward in the playoffs. But we are going to make that decision that we're going to go ahead and retire Kobe Bryant from the series, as we don't want to keep continuing to use his player model in the series. We feel it's only the right thing to do.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Paul Pierce will be the other old fart to retire. I mean, think about all the work he had to do to get in shape coming out of the booth at ESPN.
Yep.
And, just to play 1 year, he had a good run. He had a good run with Kansas City. I mean, this dude was clutch.
Guy was teaching the young guys how to play.
Yeah.
So rule changes. What are we going to decide for rule changes?
Well, one that came up on the board that was overridden because we're just dictators. That's how we roll. The commissioner is Gold Glover
the ninth.
Yeah. It's GG9.
Yeah.
So he has decided, in the name of competitive balance, so we are moving the foul out number to 5. I just like the 5. It's clean.
It's a clean number, and 6 might be a little bit too high. Maybe just it's extra. It's +1, right? But I mean, hey, think about it this way: you could end up getting more bench players to play because of the new foul out rule. You are effectively changing some of the strategy for some of these teams. They might want to go ahead and try to foul the big man's out a little bit. So big man depth would be of more importance, I guess you'd say.
And we like this rule for us because it's easier when we get to that trade deadline to match or to mix and match trades. So we don't have to worry about the cap restrictions and all that. Personally, it's a little confusing for me.
Yeah, it's super casual. I know that some people have beef to pick with our casualness, but that's just the way it is. It's a lot faster, it's a lot cleaner for the series to move forward, and quicker and faster, and it makes things probably easier on you guys when we're asking you to approve trades that we come up with during the season and at the trade deadline to push some things through.
And we are going to decrease the shot clock to 20 seconds. A lot more shots off. You're going to be moving the offense quicker. They're going to have to make up their minds about where they're going to take the play. And it should be make for a little bit more exciting.
No dilly-dallying. So by popular demand, we had a lot of questions about why Wisconsin was in the Southwest Division. So we made a change, and we have moved them to the Central, and then moved the tempo to the Southwest.
You know, Nashville was a playoff team in the Eastern Conference, so I would be interested to see how they fare in the Western Conference. Obviously, this isn't like the NBA where the West is like way better than, or and historically has been better than the East. But I would be interested to see how the win-loss thing translates for the tempo. But, I mean, I think you could go either way because Wisconsin was kind of a regional rival with St. Louis. And they also fit. I mean, they fit in the Central because they're natural rivals with Chicago.
Yep.
I think that makes sense. And, maybe Detroit. And then in the Southwest, Nashville would be a natural rival with, probably New Orleans. But they're gonna get split up with Kentucky, which is kind of, I like Kentucky Nashville. But I think this makes sense. This works for me. I could have went either way, and I went with Wisconsin in the West. People were confused, so we'll eliminate the confusion, and Nashville will enjoy their new home in the Western Conference.
Here we are at the draft lottery. We're gonna do a whole live take on every single lottery selection. We do have a scouting video that's going to post later on this week because we do want to get this thing rolling and get this thing over with, this offseason done, so we can get finally into the draft. And that is going to be run and operated by my friends at T&J and Franchise Gaming channels. Their links are in the description. So let's get into the draft lottery and see where each team is going to get slotted.
All right, let's get this going here. We see the numbers there. Supernovas have the highest chance of landing the pick.
Interesting. Okay, well, we have a lot of top tier guys that are entering into this year one XBA draft, and Supernovas, they need some offense. I feel like Barons probably need another guy down low. Bruisers, more offense too. We'll see what happens.
Barons, I'm feeling center, so you can find the guy in this class early. Somebody like Zagarach maybe comes to mind. But it'll be interesting to see. You got Philly, Houston with 12.9%. So basically those top four teams have virtually identical chances at landing that pick, and then the Jackson Collier's not too far behind. So I like the lottery system. I think it's fun and interesting. Let's get this going. Let's see what's behind the door. Here we go.
All right, live look. Currently at number 20, looks like it's going to be Pittsburgh, and it is. So they are unfortunately going to be picking at the end of the draft lottery. But that's okay.
All right.
That's all right. At 1% chance, you take it.
Yeah, right. Phoenix going 19th. No surprise there, I guess. Looks like Chicago will most likely be up here. No,
it's Detroit.
Okay, Detroit.
Okay.
Chicago getting a little bit lucky.
That little rivalry between Detroit and Chicago is renewed here.
Yeah.
Columbus now picking 17th.
All right. Basket Hounds.
That's going to be a good spot for them. They can continue to get younger.
Yeah.
With Zion and RJ.
Okay, Vortex are going to go with the 16th pick here. All right, number 15, Cyclones.
With Russell Westbrook.
Okay. It's going to stay to the Cyclones. They're going 15th. This is a team that really picked it up in the second half. They were left for dead early, so. All right. With the 14th selection, it will go to the New York City Slickers. A very balanced team. I don't know what they're going to be looking for here at the 14th spot.
Yeah, Siakam is their best player for sure. Can do it all. Can do a little bit of everything. They're going to need another guy like that to complement.
Leopards going 13th. Another well-balanced roster. Got a couple young pieces, Jackson Hayes and P.J. Washington, Jamal Murray. So, all right, next up with the 12th selection, the Wisconsin Bandits. Now in the Eastern Conference, they're going to go 12th. Okay.
I still love that logo with the basketball cheese. Here are the Pilgrims. They are slotted, and they keep their spot at number 11.
Okay. All right, I have not seen Atlanta or Chicago. I saw they said that their picks got boosted pretty high, so we're going to see where they land. This will be pretty fun here. The Dragons are going 10th. California Dragons.
Very interesting, very interesting. Here comes Washington from number 9. It stays at Washington. So they are now in the top 10 in the lottery.
It's got to be a little bit disappointing for Washington.
Maybe.
I thought they were hoping they could get a higher pick. Colliers? No.
Oh,
the
it's
Jacks.
Jacks. Okay, so the Las Vegas Jacks go to number 8.
A little disappointing for
That
the
means
Jacks.
the Colliers are still up there, right?
Yeah. Okay, Houston goes 7.
Okay.
Houston. Ouch, that's hard.
Yeah, because
they were in the contention for number 1. Bruisers up? Nope. Dallas going 6.
Oh, okay. Well, Dallas was number 3.
Yeah.
I believe they were 3 or 4, 5.
Somewhere around there. All right.
Still, okay, so here comes the Supernovas with 13.5%, and they are now slotted at number 5. So now here comes the most exciting part. 4, 3, 2, 1.
So the Supernovas tanking really didn't help them out too much. They're still going to get the 5th pick.
Oh.
Chicago. BC Chicago.
Wow.
Shocks and moves up to number 4.
Holy cow.
Wow. So some prospect out there got pretty lucky because they're going to be going to a good roster.
Yep. Here comes Philly here. Oh, the Colliers get number 3.
Okay.
So it's now between Philly and number 2.
And Atlanta's on the board.
Okay. All right. So we'll see what's going to happen here, guys. Atlanta. And remember, Atlanta, they had that really late push during the playoffs. So that's going to be a good team, too. So
Oh my
Philly
God.
takes number 2, and Atlanta is going to number 1.
Get out of here.
Are you joking me?
Unbelievable.
Atlanta with a 1% chance.
What?
They go to the number 1 picks, the
Unreal.
Olympians. They sold all of their assets. Do you remember that?
And they got back into contention because of it.
Right.
And then they end up with the number 1 pick. So their tank went completely in reverse of how it should be done.
This is crazy.
They sold out their assets, then they said, whoops, oh, we're in contention, and then they fell short, and they get the number 1 pick regardless.
Wow. This is absolutely nuts. So there are your top 3 picks for the draft for year number 1. This is
stunning.
This is actually pretty hilarious. So
I think this is pretty funny. It looks to me like Houston, Las Vegas, Washington, Dallas, and maybe even SoCal got the short end of the stick because those teams really wanted to go inside the top 3. I think they all deserve to go inside the top 3. And then they get bounced for Atlanta and Chicago, who were kind of middle of the pack teams that fell just short of the playoffs. And they're going to get to go 1 and 4.
yeah, the XBA commissioner competitive balance might have to look into this draft lottery system because that's crazy. You had a 1% chance and somehow it all fell their way. So
Yeah.
Atlanta fans got to feel really, really lucky about this.
And so as for the playoff teams, it looks like the Denver Summit will have the best position there, picking 21st. Looks like Jacksonville will go 25th. And then soon after them, the Arrows are picking 34th.
Yeah, we were a really good team that just kind of flew under the radar with everybody during the latter part of the year. But what's interesting to me is number 25 and number 26. So the Sting and the Jump still renewing that rivalry, continuing that rivalry. You might rob them of who they are looking for.
That would be fun. Yeah, all right, let's check out the mock draft. Now that we know the draft order, mock draft will be much more true to life. So let's check it out.
All right, guys, so taking a look here at the mock draft, and of course, another shout out here because we will be having the scouting video that's done by T&J and Franchise Gaming later on this week. So when we look at the mock draft here from Draft Express, they believe that Sobchak from Poland, who is playing for Barcelona, he's going number 1. He's going number 1. So they
I cannot believe Atlanta got the number 1 pick.
I can't either. It's pretty crazy to me. But what's interesting looking at this draft board is we have Marcus Bryant from Temple, although Philadelphia is where Temple is located. So, and then when we go to number 3, Malik Jones from Kentucky, that's where the Colliers are located. So maybe
flip those picks. I don't know. The Colliers have Anthony Davis, so they already, they have one big man.
Yeah,
I don't know if Bryant's a great fit. Colliers, I like their team. I don't know why they had such a bad second half of the season. They were okay in the first half for sure, but then something happened midway. Did not play very well. Got them to the number 3 pick. So the Bruisers, they kind of need to help out De'Aaron Fox. You're looking at maybe a forward. I would probably think Philly will go forward, but it'd be interesting to see. Chicago is a team like New York, where they're really well balanced top to bottom. They don't have any holes really. They just need like a big time playmaker to pair up with Holiday.
And Oladipo as well.
Yeah. And Colo to the Supernovas, I think that's a good pick because SoCal needs a small forward. Big time. They got Crowder pretty much starting for them there, and go younger maybe at that position would be good.
We were looking at number 6 for the Barons here for Alejandro Zagarac, center out of Louisville, the do-it-all center out of Louisville. When the mock drafts were coming out earlier on in the year, they had the Barons near the top, like number 2, number 3, and
Malik Jones.
That was who they thought that they were going to take. I personally always thought that Zagarac would have been the perfect fit for the Barons because they need a guy that's going to kind of be the Shaq for Trae Young.
I'm thinking right now their starter was Nerlens Noel.
Yeah.
So, go with a big-time prospect at center. And they do have Jaren Jackson, so I guess he can kind of rotate however they want him. But, play him at power forward and maybe put a guy like Zagarac there. They have Andre Joyner to Houston, Apollo St. Patrick to the Jacks. So there's some really good players down here as well. Not the end of the world, I think, for Houston, Vegas, and Dallas, and Washington.
Perry Puff is going to Washington. That would be a good fit.
Okay.
Malachi, the shooting guard from Vatech, going to
Blake Hudson.
The Dragons. Yeah.
Wouldn't have to travel too far. Go from Omaha to Milwaukee.
It's a day's drive.
Lloyd Rosado to the Leopards would be interesting. They have Portis out of Illinois to the City Slickers. Josh Beaver, point guard.
From Australia.
All right, Terrence Bell.
So they want a guy behind Russell Westbrook. Interesting.
Yeah. Basket Hounds, it'd be fun to see what they do. They got Hero, Barrett, Zion.
That would be an amazing pick. If that type of player fell for the Basket Hounds, if you could do that and add a guy like Wally Kane, that'd be huge. He's 6'10".
Yeah.
Like, you're talking about the Basket Hounds eventually becoming one of the most physical freaked teams on the court.
I would agree with that. They didn't really finish that far out of the playoffs in year 1, so they'll be a force to be reckoned with. Argueta to Detroit would be good. Kyle Lowry has been on the older side.
Yeah, you can bench Argueta for a little bit. He'd be the backup guy. It might fit.
St. Paul to the Monsters, and then Alejandro Sanchez to Pittsburgh. Jackson Perry to the Summit. You had Racine to New Orleans. Kozlov.
Now that would be perfect. That is it's hilarious. I actually mentioned this in the EuroLeague championship game. We're like, hey, the Night Owls need a guy like.
Oh,
that's hilarious. That would be great for them. They can't keep running with Jeremy Lin at point guard. Yeah. Just my opinion. They need a guy like.
Well, they got Ricky Rubio.
Yeah, he's getting a little older.
Is Artem Kozlov, is he an Alexei Shved type?
Oh my God, Alexei Shved.
Or no? I mean, it's from Russia.
Yeah, Tyus Knight would be huge for the Peppers, adding to that offense.
How about Marcus Smith? I don't know much about Marcus.
He's good. He's good. He can drive a little bit. He's more of a mid-range scorer, though. He can drive a little bit, but yeah, he's more of a mid-range guy.
Denim. I don't think the Martians need another power forward. I mean, they got Drummond at center and then Porzingis. I'm thinking somebody to replace Reggie Jackson or Gordon.
This is a perfect mock draft. I love this draft express. Will Welsh going to the Fly Guys. That makes total sense. Helping out LeBron out there. Van Casey to the Stampede. So they're again adding to that offense with now Luka having that upgrade to his overall, plus John Morant as well. It's going to be a really good team.
Bruno Versace to the Neon. Charles Burns.
Now, see, that's who I would take. I'm looking at Charles Burns.
Okay, are you taking Lamilton Tayshaun out of Morgan State?
We need a guard. And look at James Tashy's right there, too. He's one of my favorites.
I vote guard. Yeah. And then it would go A.J. Alston, the Cyborg to E.J. Sanders to the Chill. This is pretty cool. I'm excited to see the draft. This will be fun.
We're going to go ahead and take a look at the draft combine. Take a look at what these guys have been doing and who kind of stands out. And I'm going to go look here at shooting guards first because I want to look at where is Malik Jones? Did he partake in the combine? He did. So he is the number 2/3 mock draft player. Used to be number 1. And because of that second round early exit to Illinois, Some people are starting to question his ability.
Oh, that's
to
tough.
lead
After
a
one
team.
game? Come on.
To lead a team.
Come on.
But this is pretty cool. I mean, 22-25 for a moving 15-footer, so it's good body control when he's getting the shots up. Moving NBA three-pointer, that's always going to be tough, but standing NBA three-pointer, 11 of 25. Pretty decent. It's a little under 50%.
Yeah, I see some other guys did better, though. Blake Hudson, Tyus Knight.
Yeah, let's sort through here through three-pointers. Yeah, Damian Dillard. That's no surprise whatsoever. The guy from Yale can shoot the rock. Tyus Knight, Marcus Smith, who was being mocked to you guys. Seems like a three-point ball shooter.
I want to do it out of Yale. If he's going to be smart about his shot selection, get that Ivy League background, sign me up, man.
Now let's take a look at who the fastest player out there was. It was Jamal Nkolo at 3:05. Oh man!
Isn't he can play power forward too, right?
He's a shooting guard. Yep.
So he's small forward, shooting guard. Oh man, I want some Jamal Nkolo.
He's pretty darn good. I don't know if he's going to be there for you guys though. He's currently ranked at 12.
Yeah, somebody's gonna snag him, obviously. But I'm saying, if I were a team, need some athleticism, need a shooter, I'm going after Nkolo.
Look at Garrett Racine, a 3:07 sprint time at a power forward spot. That's pretty rare too. Matthew Jennings, a point guard out of Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
A Palo St. Patrick, no surprise here either at a 3:11. National champion, a Palo St.
How
Patrick.
are you looking on the jump side of things?
Vertical
leap.
That's no surprise.
Palo
No
St.
surprise.
Patrick
The guy dunks. He's a flashy dunker too. So
at the point.
dude can do everything you ask him. And then
Floka.
Garrett Racine. Yeah, that's big. He didn't seem too smooth to me in the EuroLeague, but hey, his physical tools say otherwise. So who actually shot the best from three-point land across all positions? It was James Tashi, my dude, my boy.
Okay, Memphis. I saw him a little bit. I was involved in that video. I wasn't around too much for the NCAA stuff, but that's pretty good. Tashi, Trevor Kelly
out of Abilene Christian.
Ooh, ACU, Abilene.
And of course, we have to look and see who the strongest player out there was. It's a Palo St. Patrick. Like, look at this, man. He can run some of the fastest times from the sprint. He's got a big time vertical. His bench press is one of the strongest. He's up there with power forwards and centers at the guard position.
Okay, I'm sold on the Palo St. Patrick. I'm sold 100%.
I would be too. Prince Jr., guys, take a look at his size. He's 7'7".
What?
From Georgia. Not the country. He's from Georgia, the Bulldogs. Ranked at 46th. 7'7". He's basically another Taco Fall.
Good Lord.
We're going to close today's video out with just getting your guys' feedback on some things all XBA related, and one of those things being rebrands. Do you guys want to consider some teams for rebrands and who those teams should be? So post in the comment section who you think you want to see get some jersey changes, and we'll consider it and we'll make some changes.
Yeah, we're not doing the purge yet. Purge being our way of recycling through teams, making new teams, relocating teams. But just as far as jersey design or court design, maybe the logo, but the identity of the team is not going to change yet. But if there's a team out there with a logo you don't really care for, maybe I hear about Boston all the time.
It's pretty lame, man.
Nobody gets the Pilgrims.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's okay. You guys don't have to get. You guys don't have to get me. If you don't like it, what we made, I'm cool with it. Different strokes for different folks, as the saying goes. But a lot of people, Boston, Dallas doesn't have a ton of fans, so I don't know if they like the jerseys. I mean, they're pretty simple on purpose. Maybe you don't like SoCal, or you don't like Chicago's courts, or you don't like whatever. I'm not putting ideas in your head. You tell us if there's something, and we'll make one or two changes. Maybe Boston. Boston's the one I hear about all the time.
Boston I hear about a lot. The other ones I'm scrolling through and they don't really stand out to me as needing any change. I think Kansas City is starting to grow on people.
Okay.
I would just consider changing the text. That's what I would do. That's my personal opinion. I don't know. Like the away jerseys look cool with that text with the homes, yeah. So we'll consider some changes, guys. Whatever you think, whatever you want to consider and throw out there for us. But how many of you actually noticed something here about the away uniform? This is a little XBA.
It's on both. It's on both
XBA
sides.
trivia. Check it out. Would you guys ever notice the?
It's on
background?
both sets. The white set has it too.
Yeah. Like that subway in there.
Subway on his butt.
The signs.
Maybe I should move that around.
Yeah, I would
move that.
I would move that around, but
But they have like the Coney Island.
sublimated.
So they got the subway system. They got a map of, the Bronx and Manhattan, Coney Island. They got all sorts of New York stuff going on. It's very under the radar.
Maybe maybe like an XBA logo patch up at the top left.
Yeah,
the
you
top
could do
right.
patches. I'm not opposed to patches. It wouldn't take too long to go in there. Actually, it would. If it takes 3 minutes, multiply that by 36. That's how long it would take.
It would take an hour and a half.
We can invest the time though to do that. But one thing I see a lot of people, they ask about like logos. I don't want to use Nike's logo or anything like that.
Yeah, we don't want to get in trouble with any copyright stuff. So
Yeah. All right.
a few of you guys were talking about trying to like how to figure out how to create these types of uniforms, and just kind of simply doing a little bit of a tutorial here. It's all about layers. So you just upload things that you've created in Photoshop or any type
I know
of
that.
logo editor or anything like that. So you just basically use everything that you've uploaded here. And
So, well, for the textures, I don't know, maybe we could do a
yeah, we could do a tutorial, whatever. But I just wanted to show you guys, like, this is how you pretty much do it. Like, that's not a stripe within the game. We had to go ahead and create that stripe.
Yep. And you have experience with like a photo editing thing. I deal with. I mean, I've been using this stuff for like 10 years, kind of as a kind of a side hobby. I sort of figured some things out over the years. And so I use opacity, which is like how much light gets through. So you use that for like the jersey textures for the most part. And then, for the night owls especially, I use kind of a glow color.
Yep.
Or style, and it translates into the game. So I don't know if you guys want to see something like that. Let me know.
Yeah, I think most of our creations are pretty neat, but obviously we always have, like you said, different strokes for different folks. So, but hey, you guys are helping us run the series too, so we want to hear what your feedback is and go from there. So
I can't believe Subjects is going to freaking Atlanta. Phil. Cannot believe Atlanta. Got it. I thought the whole time it was going to be SoCal or Dallas.
yeah, I did too. Well, we're back here at this screen, the mock drafts, and as our outro goes, it's still just amazing to me that the Olympians somehow found a way to get to number 1. Like, this is, like, what? What just happened?
Still can't believe it.
Yep.
Can't get over it. For a team that was, I mean, they missed the playoffs by like 2 or 3 games?
Yeah, you go ahead and you grab Sobchak. I think that team is instantly one of the better teams in the XBA.
You know what, though? This worked out because this is what we want in the XBA. We want it to be
crazy.
Not necessarily tank-proof. I mean, you really can't make something tank-proof unless you, you could award the first overall pick to the best team if you wanted to do something crazy. But, there's no fair way to make it tank-proof. If you're going to give the lesser teams the first crack at it, some teams are going to bend the rules and try to tank. But that's why you have a lottery. So you mix it up a little bit. Nothing's foolproof. And Atlanta and Chicago are the big-time benefactors. They got the luck of the draw.
Yep. Well, guys, coming up next for the XBA, we're going to have that scouting video. Thanks to TNJ and Franchise Gaming, my 2 YouTube friends out there. Thank you guys so much for getting that thing done. And we'll have that this week. So you guys are probably wondering, how in the world is the draft going to work? Well, I have tried to mention it here and there just a couple times in nice little spots in these XBA videos about how the draft's going to work, but here it is. There is not currently a Discord for everybody to be a part of, so we are, well, and the reason why I bring up Discord is just for communication amongst all of you XBA fans out there. So what we are going to do is the XBA draft will be a live stream. So we're going to go through every single pick for the first 2 rounds, well, the only 2 rounds of the XBA draft. And how this is going to work is for every single pick. So let's say we start with round 1. We've got the Olympians on the clock. They're currently mocked with Jedrzej Sobczak. And you guys are going to be given a Google Forms link. So it will be a survey type deal. And we're going to go ahead and link it. And we're going to give you guys a clock. We're going to give you a time to get your selection in. We'll give you actually 3 choices. 3 choices. And that will be Sobczak, Malik Jones, Marcus Bryant. They'll be the top 3 guys that are left on the board. Get your picks into each Google form that we link, and make sure you're paying attention to that link in the live stream every time that we ask you guys, hey, here's a new Google form, make your picks. So we just ask that the viewers are on top of it and can access the links to make your picks, because we will not be considering live stream comments. We're only going to be looking at the official percentages for each selection.
Yeah, but definitely go ahead and lobby for your man.
Yeah,
if you feel really strongly about it, if you're a fan of your team, yeah, definitely make your case in the live chat. So that'll be a lot of fun. Free agency, we'll go over the rules and the system in the following video after the draft stream. That'll be interesting too. Added some players to the player pool that were kind of late bloomers this season. I'm thinking of Kendrick Nunn, Devontae Graham, guys like that. They're rated appropriately. So those guys will be in the free agent pool, and we'll talk about that in the following video. And then definitely do not miss the last part of the offseason, which would be the 4th or 5th video. Definitely stick around all offseason. We're going to go through it pretty
quickly.
Yeah, the timing will be okay. We will not drag this on too long. And then we'll get back into the season number 2. You know, we were going over these teams. A lot of these teams, I didn't really forget they existed, but it felt like I forgot that they existed. I'm like, oh yeah, Atlanta. And like, oh yeah, New York, City
Philly.
Slickers. Okay,
Philly, they exist.
Yeah. So I mean, it's been a long time, obviously. So we're excited we'll be moving it along here pretty well.
Well, we do actually have quite a bit of people that won guaranteed prospects, and we're not gonna say how many that we are gonna take right now. So please just go ahead and submit your prospects in the Google form link. I cannot stress that enough. So if you guys leave a comment for your prospect, it's gonna be glossed over. We're not gonna look at it. So please use the Google form link, answer all the questions about your prospect, and submit it that way. It is in the pinned comment below. It's in the description. It will be plastered all over the community tab as well.
XBA Twitter,
Draft Class Creator, everything. It's all going to be all over the place. So make sure you guys are going to that link and submitting your prospects there. And that's all we got. A lot of stuff. XBA is very deep. So if you guys are still around and sticking around for this news, I very much appreciate every single one of you that takes the time to pay attention. So we will see you guys in the next video, which will be the scouting video brought to you by T&J and Franchise Gaming. And then from there, it will be the XBA draft. So we're almost there. We're almost there. Leave a like if you like this thing, guys. I will see you then. As always, peace.